Hello YouTube, Mr. Natural here. Well, this is that lesson I promised to give you on code words. The first thing I would like to talk about is there are basically two kinds of notation, notes. There are the notes that are hollow, and there are notes that are solid. The hollow notes represent rhythms that are two or more beats, 2, 3, 4, etc. And I have them written out here. With one stem it's 2, a hollow note with a dot is 3, and then a hollow note without a stem is 4 beats. Over here you can see 1 beat, 2 beats, less than 2 beats. It could be 1.5 beats or 1 3/4 beats, but solid notes are less than 2 beats, and usually a quarter note, which is the one here with just a stem, that usually gets 1 beat, and then there are subdivisions of that beat. So the beat can be divided into 2 segments or 2 syllables, which we say are eighth notes. 16th notes would be 4 subdivisions of that one single beat. So you can have, I refer to them as pulses. You can subdivide a single beat into as many pulses, or what's happening in music is syllables. You take a sentence apart by syllables, and generally every single syllable has a single note attached to it. Whether that's a quarter note or an eighth note or whatever, it's up to you. It's how you hear it. But they'll be subdivided into groups of 2, 4, 6, 8, or 3, 6, 9 into odd numbers. And it's always part of a beat. So we start with a metronome, which gives us just our basic pulse. Now most things in music are in 4/4, or what's called common time, 4/4, or common time. And in common time there's 4 beats to a single measure of music. And that's what we're going to work with. And we're going to work with just 4 beats and these code words for quite a while, maybe 15 or 20 odd lessons here, in which you will eventually start to hear these, and I will show you techniques for writing them down. For now, we're just going to work with the single code word drum. Drum, which is a quarter note. It's a dot with a stem on it. Now the stem is very important. We'll show you later when it comes to notation. You don't spend time trying to draw the dots because they take too much time to draw them and fill them in. And being able to tell solid ones from, what you do is you draw the stems. And you can draw the stems out in real time and then fill them out pretty quickly. And you'll see we'll be able to do that pretty much in real time. So if we're taking something and dividing it 1 beat into more syllables than single beat, like 5 syllables or 10 syllables or whatever, 5 syllables Mississippi mud, then what happens is we'll have 5 subdivisions, and there'll be some symbol, some icon that goes along with that. So for now, all we're going to use is drum, quarter note. If there is silence instead of this beat being filled with sound, let's say there's 1 beat of silence, then we use this symbol, which is, as you can see, a backwards lightning bolt with a backwards comma. There's a comma at the bottom there, and you see it's a lightning bolt. And what I usually do is I just draw that part of it. I draw the stems for my quarter notes, and I just draw the lightning bolt for rests. So if you've got out a pencil and a piece of paper, you could follow along with what I'm about to do. Now what I'm going to do is show you or clap out quite a few of the different versions of this. If you have 4 beats, and I can put 1 quarter note in there, or 2, or 3, or 4, fill them out in different ways, put rests in different positions, it turns out you have about 16 or so different combinations. So I'm just going to tap out some of the most common ones. And the first thing I want to do to get your ear used to this idea is, if I say the word drum, I'm just going to simply clap my hands. Drum, 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 drum. And I'll do it along with the metronome. You'll also notice that the metronome has a cowbell and then 3 sticks. And then the cowbell and 3 sticks. That cowbell is 1. And 1 in music, the first beat of a measure, is usually active or considered masculine. It's to be asserted or accented or pushed in some way or another. And the other 3 beats are considered laid back or passive. So there's always this loud beat on 1, 2, 3, and 4 are softer. 1 is accented, 2, 3, 4 usually run together. And everything is going to happen on that cowbell. 1, we're going to go for 4 beats. I'm going to use a code word and I'm going to use a rest. I'll show you how we do rests, and you'll be able to hear these rhythms. Okay? So the first thing is to get the metronome ticking out here. And you can hear the cowbell. Active, passive, passive, passive. Accent, rest. So if I were to do code words and fill all of them, it would be like this. Drum, 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 drum. Now you can tap your foot. Drum, 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 drum. Or rock. Drum, 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 drum. Or jump rope. Drum, drum, drum. Or box. Bum, 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 bum. Now, if I want to represent that time without any sound, then what I will do is, instead of clapping my hands, I'll miss my hands. And if you see me do this, that's a rest. So a rhythm could be like this. Drum, drum, drum. Now if I were to write that down, I'd write the quarter note and then put 3 little lightning bolts after that to represent the rests. Let's hear it again. Drum, drum. Now what if I put a drum on the end of that? 2 rests in the middle, drum on the beginning and the end. It sounds like this. Drum, 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 rest. So you can see I'm still emphasizing the first drum with the cowbell, and the next drum, which coming just before it, is passive enough that you can still hear where the 1 comes in. Right? This time I'm going to do a rhythm in which I put rests in the beginning and only have 1 on the 4th beat. So it goes like this. Drum, 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 drum. Okay? So that 3 rests and a drum. That last beat still has to be active, and when I do the rests, I still have to feel the force of that first beat being strong and really there. After a while, you'll just only feel the first beat of every measure and be able to hear everything in bites of 4 bits. Okay? Now another one. This time, I'm going to have 2 drums in there, and we'll put rests in various places. Drum, 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 drum. You feel that? And drum, 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 drum. Next one, I'm going to do the inversion of that. we go. Do it again. A little bit harder, because you have to listen for the active rest. Drum. Do it again. Drum. Drum. Rest, quarter note, rest, quarter note. Again. Drum. 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 Got to get that one in there, even if we don't hear it. Okay, another one. Yes. Quarter note, rest, quarter note, quarter note. Rest. Turning that around would be like this. Drum, drum, rest. Drum, drum, drum. The harder ones are where the beginning and the end have rests, like this. Drum, 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 drum. Drum, 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 drum. So that was rest, drum, drum, rest, or rest, quarter note, rest. Now we'll just do them with 3 beats, putting 1 beat somewhere. Drum, drum, drum. So you should have heard drum, 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 rest, drum, 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 rest. Next one.